It's another morning in Europe, and I'm once again in Bruges. Now, I'm not going to name drop the famous film because I haven't watched it recently, but we all know, or those of you that do know, that excellent title from only 13 years ago, boy, time flies, has led a lot of us to this particular city. And in this multi-part visit vlog, I'm kind of going to intercut two visits into one, as I am just having a stroll through the town this morning during their winter festival, or Wintergode, I believe as it's called. We are in a tunnel, obviously, as we are going towards the concert Gibau, or concert stadium, on the other side of the train station here. What's really fascinated me, however, is the fact that we have this section of town that literally is somewhat deserted and being completely rebuilt into a new project. But as you can see on the other side, this entire building has been reinforced with some very interesting sight lines beyond it. They're very much, as anyone will probably know, very serious about retaining the heritage of these cities. And you can see that in effect here today. And further down this road is Bruges itself. It's a Technical Institute building that is being rebuilt, no doubt into a very impressive facility, but as you can see over here, there's quite the demolition that has occurred. I honestly don't even remember what this looked like before. I was never here before. But in the background is really our main attraction, which is the Berg. It looks like this was one entire building that they've just literally gutted and are building into something quite new. Forgive me for not knowing the precise details. Why do I keep coming back here? Well, chief reason for that is definitely Trappist beer and the Belgian beer experience, which is second to none, and I'm definitely feeling a little bit of the effects of from last night, as my favorite beer was available in a bar that we were at. The bars as well are among the most alluring things to see here. There's just no other way that they do them than here in Belgium, and it's an old bell. I actually haven't been to this square in some time, which is on the more modern side of Bruges. And the reason why that is because you have the massive concert Gibau, or concerts something or other over there. Anyhow, there are many areas to get into the city from this side. My recommendation is to follow the path where these folks are going. And that car is going now, as that takes you on the main shopping street. This is going to not be a definitive guide to brew in any shape or form, as I really just kind of explore the wonder of this place. This is Old St. Michael's Hospital, I believe, or Old St. Jan's Hospital, which is sort of like its own self-contained little thing. You can see a picture of someone watching over us here in midst of this amazing architecture and scenery. And then the courtyard proper. I say what I say because it's only now that I kind of got my bearings of where exactly in the old city I am, is when you go down that hallway there where those people are disappearing, we're going to do ourselves as well. And the reason why, we're just getting a couple shots of this brilliant little piece of courtyard, Because I remember touring this area the night of my fall excursion, which I'll cut to now. The tourism in the city, one of the most visited in Europe, is faring, I guess, is something we'll find out briefly while we're here in Bruges. Now, we're obviously not going to see too much lit up this evening because the town is, of course, kind of getting sleepy, but we're going to cut some corners here and see where it takes us. It doesn't take long to go through this town. So you end up in like some random courtyard. I'm pretty sure there's no way out of here. You see there's like a stable up there that's not even being used. This whole city is basically a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has not been touched. And I don't even know how many years. I don't know much about the town's history, sadly. It's something that I should brush up on very soon, since if I come back again, which I most definitely will. But I've always found about this city that if you take random little shortcuts, you'll still be rewarded as per now. As it being a medieval city, there are no straight roads. It's just all interconnected through alleys and small roads. Now I do recall this is often how, or at least the last two times that I've been here, I've come up this very street to get to the main central square. It's just after 9 o'clock on a Wednesday, so it should be pretty sleepy in general, but it's a weird thing about Bruges, which way we want to call it. It tends to have little pockets of energy if you're willing to find them. There is one magical bar that I've been to here that I hope I find. I'm a little skeptical though, as it's not easy to find. But if I do, I'll know exactly that I'm at the right spot. I've totally forgotten its name over the years. There's just been... The last time I was here in 2014, I definitely went there. But now I've lost all track of what it was called. It was a Flemish name anyway. Should probably give you street names, but I'd mispronounce them anyway. So we're just going to wander around. This is the main shopping street, of which you'll find numerous boutiques, sometimes of the same store within a couple of kilometers. I think it's only about a kilometer-ish long anyway. It does extend the length of the city from one side to the other, however. But it does lead us through the main plaza and square and the old town hall, which is pretty much what everyone comes to see when they come here. And then once you've done that, you're kind of done with Bruges. But that's what you do in Bruges. You just come, you relax, you drink some beers, you have some fries and mayo, and you enjoy everything that Bruges culture can offer you. It's touristy time, and we hit the main square. And of course the Belfry, made famous in that movie I already mentioned, but it was famous before that, of course, to Belgians and other historical buffs. But it's one thing that you have to come and see when you're in Bruges. Essentially, if you've seen the Belfry, you can at least say you've kind of seen Bruges, because you're in the heart of it. So that is the main tourist attraction. Now, only next to it is a building that I think is actually far more interesting, even though the Belfry's got some... It's not really been changed since it was built over 600 years ago, I believe. However, right next door is what I believe is the Houses of Parliament. It's Provincial Hall. It's City Hall, if you will. It is quite an impressive building. Normally when I'm here in this square, there's always a fun fair. It's one of the few times I haven't been or haven't seen one. Central Square does have this statue in the middle of it. And then Tourist Trap Central. Used to be a Subway over here, actually, on the left. There's an excellent fries place just on the left, too, in the corner alley behind here. On your left there. I would not recommend, unless you're looking to eat super late. These places generally are a little touristy. Which is why I'm going to take you in a little bit of a different path. Down this way. This was the start of our journey here last night, and this area was absolutely rammed with people enjoying traditional Belgian holiday tunes and others. And as you can see, there really is no better use for shipping containers than, say, this festival, I guess, because they've put them to good use. Now, it obviously hasn't been cleaned up from last night's festivities. It's kind of a weird day. It is a Tuesday. It is the 28th of December. And this place was hopping last night, and yet I think today is a holiday, as not many stores seem to be open. Anyhow, it doesn't look like we're going to capture most of these stalls being open during their Christmas market this year. Well, that is fine. I just want a waffle. Well, just a minor update after talking to the nice gentleman at the waffle stand. And this is really what Bruges is about. You go down alleys, every window is open for perusal of various trinkets, and then you have these gorgeous sights. There really is nothing like this place. Here's everything opens at 10:30 today, which is kind of unusual hours, but we'll see what happens. It does look like I'm going to be able to get my waffle in 10 minutes from the stand that I was just at. So we're going to go into the center square and work our way back around. And that'll be kind of it for the main part of this day vlog. As there's not much left to experience beyond that. And with the rain being what it is, we don't want to damage our camera too bad. It is just astounding how many restaurants are in a small city such as this. And I come from a massive cosmopolitan city of which our dining options are minimal to none unless you like fast food. So it's really sad that is the case. But that is not the case here in Bruges. Although I will say though, if you don't like pizza, you're gonna have a hard time in a town like this, because they love pizza here in Bruges. It's a very cool parking garage. It's fascinating architecture in this city, not only the old but the new, and how they've sort of shoehorned modern needs into these older buildings. So if you do like preservation, this is definitely your jam. If you like treacherous driving, this is also your jam. I haven't actually tried to drive in the downtown itself because it seems a little too crazy down here. But just even getting in during the market, be warned, do not come in the middle of the day. The traffic is unbelievable. We were here last night, and as you can see, there's not much going on. It definitely seems like it's a slower night because last night's market was completely overrun with people. It was crazy busy, and now the Berg is essentially empty. So that is what it is. I'm all right with that because I do need a little bit of a rest and just sort of relax after last night. But that's it. There you have it. The famous building from in Bruges, which, if you know, the top of is pretty much the main attraction to come and see in this city. One day I will do it. It is 10 o'clock and the stands are opening, so things will start to open up. You really get a feeling of the town by being in this particular area and getting inside that church, because yeah, the feel, I couldn't even describe the atmosphere in there. It was remarkable. We are in the main market, which is open now, and we're just going to check it out because I've never actually been to the fruit market before, and it's rather well known. Lots of vegetables and meat and cheese and all other things available every week. I believe it's Wednesdays and Saturdays that this is run.
I was coming through and I could see three matching over.
So we do our best. We have the flower market over here. Fresh flowers available at all times. They really like flowers here in Belgium. Meat. Massive rotisserie, baby. Wow. This portable I'm actually impressed by this portable rotisserie operation. It's quite crazy. All right, well, that's the market for you. There is another permanent market just a further ways down. We're obviously not going to go there. It's a massive delicatessen here as well. And of course, bread. I was about to say, it would be scandalous if there wasn't any bread here, because they make amazing bread in Belgium. Oh yeah, and apple flaps. I will probably be back here, because I need some of this. I know I'm going to end up just collecting my partner. And then you got delicatessen as well. It is lit when it comes to market here at Bruges. The main permanent market here at Bruges, just on the other side of the Basilica, we come across that area. More of an arts market, and definitely not fully up and running today, as you can see, but it features these permanent stands so that they can set up their work, which I find very cool. And there you have it. You can get original paintings, you can get handcrafted jewelry, you can get it all. Sadly, it's not a full offering today. I'm sure that on weekday or weekends it might be a little bit more active. As you can see, the square is relatively empty of stands. I just wanted to show you this because I do find it very unique how this is one of the permanent fixtures here of Bruges, obviously, but I know, it's just always kind of cool. I am actually going to finally go back to my hotel, but we just wanted to do this little miniature courtyard stroll on the way back. Alright, we're going to take a break because it just is not, the rain is coming down slightly harder and I can't really keep the lens clean. I'm sure this is not your concern, however, we'll see you in a moment. Not only do we have the Bruges Beer Museum, which now I'm actually wishing I had done. Well, I got something to do when I come back. We have, of course, the famous Christmas store, which, oddly enough, isn't too busy. So here we go, straight in. Part of the reason why I come down this way is because I believe my restaurant/bar is down here. But I would say word to the wise, the way that I've always figured out where to eat and where to drink and all that kind of stuff is you look for locals. It seems like a rule that most people have, or at least don't actually act and practice. But it is always a good idea, even if you're nervous to do it, because you'll get some unique experiences that aren't chains and corporate, and you're dealing with what the locals like, so you know you're going to get something good. You're also going to have like places that are really kind of like Irish bars, like Delaney's here. I work in a British pub anyway, so I'm not really going to go for that. In the bustling summer, this whole area is full of people, but it's certainly not now. I have to keep my experience relatively uncomplicated, so I'm going into Punta Est, which sadly is a Spanish-themed restaurant. But I've already had a very traditional Belgian dish today, so I need to have a couple cocktails. Of course, the irony is that Club Bruges are playing the Champions League today. We found the right spot to watch them. It was very nice to actually have the Club Brugge game going on, which sadly, you know, if I even tried to fit that into my itinerary today, I would have been an absolute madman. And I probably would have showed up for like half of the game and paid way too much for that. And got harassed by a bunch of locals being like, who are you? Who are you supporting? Etc. You can tell that triple has hit me a bit now. Good old Charlie Rockets. When I first came to this town, this was one of the first places that I had heard of to go get a drink. It's definitely a place that gets busier later on at night, because it's not right now, even though other places were. The reason why is it's also a hostel located right next to where I used to stay here all the time. The Bauhaus. That's one of the things about the character of this small city, is that it's generally been, or at least for me, it feels like the same size, especially in the time that I visited. It is a sleepy town. The thing I like about Bruges, though, is that they like to have a good drink during the day, and they shut her down, get started up again the next day. As we began this journey, there were a couple of places that we saw close to where I'm staying, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to try that out instead of my favorite bar, which, you know, if I told anyone that I went, they would just be despondent anyway. Rather than share that experience with no one, I ought to share it with someone. As it just comes to mind now, Bruges really is a perfect city to check out during the scary season, as we call it, or Halloween, because all of these medieval buildings really work well within that context, without any additions of skeletons or pumpkins necessary. In fact, this is the first day of my trip, or at least the first evening, that I've seen nothing of the sort. We're walking down the same way that we came originally at the beginning of this miniature vlog, as I now trip over street cobblestones. These are very clearly the original gatehouses, which you can't see, but The original walls of the city we're just passing through now. Now this was one of those intriguing bars, restaurants that I just saw on the way. I think I'm... This place does have a beer garden, however. Okay. It's right by my hotel. Let's just go in and ask an innocent old question. And I will say that my secondary mentor generally just goes in with the camera and starts talking to people. That is not where we're at yet with this channel. But boy, does this place remind me of my favorite bar. Every one of these bars is really just unique on its own, right? And anything that you pop into, you're just going to find an ultimately good atmosphere. Bruges for me is the only thing I ever want when I vacation, and hopefully I captured a little bit of that in this video from someone that knows not that much about it, but hopefully over the years maybe I will learn a lot more and then watch these videos and be like, oh yeah, that was that particular building that had some historical significance to the town. But that's beside the point. Get here, check out Bruges if you haven't already. It is a town that will not disappoint. It's quite remarkable. It's a town of treasures. All right, thanks for watching.